Hi, my friends. This is Trey's Myths and Tunes, and I'm still talking a little more about sculpting your own mind in the invisible realms. Yeah, it's really exciting and it's amazing when you realize, at first, it's amazing when you realize that it's your responsibility and duty to program, to sculpt your brain, your thoughts, your mind into what you want. And again, these same folks I made these videos about are all, except for the Rastafari and not as much him, he'll listen to the truth. The rest of them are The other two are so far into their dogma of their religious extreme, the Hare Krishna and the churchy Bible thumper religious cults, traditions, that they have to, abandon me or hate on me when I tell them the truth about the fourth dimensional parasites. They just think it's totally disrespectful that I'm insane. It proves I'm insane or whatever. But actually, it's the opposite. It's the reclamation of the truth. What's interesting is the Laura Eisenhower claims my zodiac sign, and after the precession of the equinoxes, Ophiuchus, I govern, or this sign is my zodiac sign. The element is the ethers, right? So this explains why I've often stayed in places like this, even though there's a whole lot of nasty microwaves and nanobots in there. I mean to say the trees, the forest, because they emit the ethers, the healing medicines. I almost feel like if you were to sleep on the side of the road at night, all the pollution is harming you. If you slept in the forest at night, like invisible angels of the ethers will clean you. So your mind is like a laptop, and a cell phone. All disclosure, all technology can be used for good, or evil. The full disclosure. Oh, I know what I'm going to say. Is that your human mind is more like a laptop, because you can choose what you put into it. And just think about this, for example, one of the reasons why I make these videos, the 0 point tech. If we had all of Tesla's technology, David Wilcox's dreams, and Dan Willis' website, the webmatrix.net, if all that's accurate, then there's no reason that we should be slaves or not have, Tesla's dream of the automaton, the computer system being used truly, altruistically for all of us. This is really creative thinking from a point of view of respect. Okay, except for the problem is, of course, the transhumanists are trying to use it to program us. Both that, the ionosphere and the insides of your bodies. Um, Having a vision of yourself in the future, a vision of your healed self, you must do the sculpting and programming. You really have to have an idea, your occupation, your job. First, like I say, you have to figure out how to clear out your traumas and heal that, and not because then, if you don't, every person you meet in the future, every so often, that same either violent or mentally abusive or narcissistic criminal psychopath personality or narcissistic parasite entity will show up in another person. Then you have to be with it again. Then you have to be with it again. And again, once you've done that insane amount of or intense shadow work, then you come to the point where it's like, well, what are you gonna do now? I've come back to the lamest, most sad little. I call it the scorpionic moronic. It was like not cleaning my camp to try to prevent myself from getting the right thought. Just being lazy and stuck in my habits. I'm just as bad as anyone if I'm not really clear. And so this town, the Curse of Santa Cruz, the Archons, the Ghost, Zeta, ridiculous spirits, the antiverse entities, they force you, as I've said before, to get clear. Because if you don't, it's going to suck really bad. So what will you be when you know that you, not the Illuminati, not Satan, not Lucifer, not the Black Suns, not the Belial Sons, not the Dracos, and not the Anunnaki, not the Demiurge, but you are the one, the spirit inside that body who's not violent, the harmless, respectful spirit in that body gets to program this flesh suit, if it's going to be harmless and respectful, to do whatever it wants. To think and believe and experience and feel whatever it wants. If it's not going to hurt itself or anyone else, what are you going to do when you realize that's your responsibility to follow that Aboriginal commitment, to be creative every day, to choose, even if it's an open-ended conversation for 5 minutes? For a few of you, that might be a lot. Do it. If it's if you believe in the Most High and you have respect in yourself, you will figure out. As I said, and the shaman with 3 PhDs from Dagara, Africa, Malidoma Some, if you look on the YouTube video he made about going to the psychiatric hospital with the psychologist, and how the first thing he said when he went in was, they're all healers. And he said in the traditional and Dagara culture, the person who was flipping out, they would surround them, the village elders would surround them and listen to see what it was. And that would usually be their specialty. Now, your trauma can influence your healing. My narcissistic abuse, my pathetic attempts at relationships helped me to heal others with that. The fact that I overturned and got rid of my addiction to coffee, not coffee, I'm still addicted to coffee, sugar cane, sweeteners, and alcohol. Getting rid of my addiction to sugar and alcohol means that I can school you on how to do it. Because, and I can, again, one of the things I say is reframe it to thinking about the brain damage, the motor dysfunction, and the hangover. And, or substitute with cannabis indica if you can, if you have the courage, the money, the time, or if it's legal in your state, you can find it, etc. There's issues to do with substitution, but if you substitute something that's mentally addictive but not physically addictive, then it's far less harmful, right? So, kratom, I don't know. So you got to change your ideas of relationship to having equanimity, and when you can do that, it changes the quantum, your ability to meet, and you find the people just such as with me. Start to meet more of the people you're going to be able to work and play with in a respectful way. When you reprogram your hologram, you sculpt your own mind and the invisible realms. You realize the parts of the invisible realms that are not you, that are harmful, that you don't want to interact with, and you choose not to. And you choose to put in place of that respectful, creative, joyful ideas. If you like this stuff, click on that Irish subscribe button. Otherwise, enjoy your day. Or if you got the gumption, create a great one.